Hey guys, my name's Craig Brown. I am super stoked to show you this camper van that my family and I built. It's a 2022 F-350 Transit EcoBoost. It's all-wheel drive. It's an extended body. It's got a high roof. She is properly named Ferdinand. This thing is decked out. It's an absolute tank, and it's absolutely beautiful to look at. Super smooth driving. And yeah, let's dive right into it. Everything is on the outside of this van, so your hookup for your electricity, your water fill, there's an outdoor shower on the outside of the van. And let me just walk you through some stuff. The van's got LED headlights, fog lights. It's got lane protection. It's got whatever that's called, blind spot assist. When you turn the wheel left or right, this light shines really bright out here, so you can always see your surroundings. It's got the keypad entry. It's got wireless locking and unlocking. Here is your shore power. We'll get all into the electrical system later on. This is your shore power, and the van will come with your adapter to plug everything in. It's got a backwoods adventure mod full rack system on top. It's got a backwood adventure mod full ladder on the side. And then on both sides, it's got Black Horse aluminum powder-coated running boards. It's got a slider vent window for the main window up on the driver's side. And then on the back, it's got flare-outs, flare space on both sides. So I'm 6'1". I can sleep comfortably in here. So these are super rad. This is your water fill for your 40-gallon fresh water tank, and it locks, which is important. Coming around the back here, there's not really a whole lot going on back here, I guess. It's pretty standard, but we do have a hitch on the back of the van, so you can pull a trailer, you can put a bike rack on it, you can put a gear rack on the back, and then the lights. It's got the multiple different plug-ins for your lights. The side here is your outdoor quick connect shower, and that just locks in place there. And then up here you've got a 8-foot Thule awning. It's not electric, you do have to crank it, but it's super easy to crank, and you can pull it all the way out, and it's up to you if you want to put the feet down or not. But it's an awesome awning. Super stoked on that. And then again, this is your big long Black Horse running board with a little dog hook if you want to hook your furry buddy up. So yeah, let's jump on in. Welcome to Ferdinand the van. I'm super pumped on the whole build of this thing. We've built quite a few vans, and I think this is the best build we've ever done. This is your auxiliary diesel tank. It's got a Eberspacher diesel heater, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's the version where when you're in high altitude, it won't affect anything. It'll adjust automatically. So that is super key if you're gonna be up in the mountains in Colorado or Utah or wherever. This little hook came in handy so much. Headlamps, whatever you're gonna put on there if you're going outside. And then I'll jump into the front here. The van has factory swivel seats, which is awesome because a lot of you guys know aftermarket swivel seats sometimes are a little finicky. They don't fit quite right. Passenger and driver side swivel right from the factory of Ford. So these are rad. It just makes so much more room for living and hanging out and just doing your thing inside the van. Cool. All right, so there is a lot to cover inside of this van. There's a lot going on. I'm going to start with the electrical system. There is 600 amp hours of Dakota lithium batteries. There's 3 200 amp hour batteries, and they're all actually staged underneath this booth. And you can access them. You shouldn't ever need to, but if you do need to, you just take this off, a couple screws on this piece of wood here, and it lifts right up, and you have access to all 3 of your Dakota lithium batteries, and all of your components for your battery system are all stored underneath here. Your master switch to turn things on and off, your distributor for all your power, your DC to DC alternator charger, your solar charge controller, your solar breaker, so if you want to turn the panels or the whole system for the solar on and off, and then your multi-plus charge controller. The thing is packed. I mean, you can go days upon days without needing really any power plugging in. There's also, down here is your, I don't know what you call it, but it's just like a third-party switch or an extra switch, so you don't have to open this up all the time. If you want to go from charging to pushing power out for the multi-plus, you just do it all right here. And then this is where you will adjust settings when you're plugged in to shore power. These are your household breakers, so turn everything on, turn everything off. This is your Bluetooth battery monitor. The coolest thing about this whole system, you never have to touch any of this stuff if you don't want. It's all just on the Victron Energy app on your phone. You can see the data, you can monitor the data, you can adjust settings, everything. So that it's totally tricked out. And then down here is your 12-volt breakers. We made them accessible. They're kind of protected by this little piece here, but you can pull this out and adjust anything. Everything is dialed in. You should never have to touch any of this either, but it's there just in case you need to. And then, yeah, let's talk about the booth since we're here. So, like I said, there's kind of a multi-function thing. This you can't really do much with, but the Lagoon table comes on and off. And this table itself is a custom-made black walnut table that we made, and it slides to stow right behind the driver's seat. And then the driver's seat, you just push it back, and it holds it nicely in place. We've got these cool bars here, so you can put books or whatever on this windowsill here, and it won't slide out. This is your screen window, and then the screen opens all the way up too for ventilation. If you need some extra venting, there's 2 USB outlets and a household outlet right here for you as well. That's the table. This spot, let me just demonstrate this, is the money spot, because you can lean back on the chair, type away, kick your feet up, eat dinner with somebody. This is the prime spot. You're gonna wanna be there if you're in the van. And then let's go to this side of the booth area. This is super cool. We designed this whole area that if you've got a small child or if you've got another person riding along with you, it's a seat. It's got a fully integrated seat belt. This piece just slides out like this. And somebody can sit and be buckled and be safe. If you're not going to use that feature, just lift it up and slide it back. There's a ton of storage under here. There's a huge storage bin right down there. You've got your dimming light, reading light with a USB plug right here. And then to continue on, just storage everywhere in this van. There's so much of it. Little hidden storage tray right there. And then yeah, we'll roll along into the kitchen. So we've got a Furrion dual burner 12 volt, I'm sorry, this is not 12 volt, this is household 24. But cooktop, induction cooktop, 2 burners, and then the main galley here, you've got your dual outlet, you've got your dual USB plugs, you just turn on and off. You've got your Eberspacher controller to turn on your diesel heater, which is mounted underneath here. That's what this is. And you can access your diesel heater just by taking these drawers out, which is super convenient. And then we've got these dimmers. I'm not sure which ones these are. Under cabinet lights. So these dim the under cabinet lights, and these dim the main cabin lights. And they're all in a warm white tone, so they're not overpowering. And then this is your Dometic. There's a RTX 2000 12 volt air conditioning unit. up on the roof. It's the low profile one, so there's not like a freaking fridge sitting on top of your roof. 12 volt, which is a huge deal. This little gap right here is just so that the area underneath the cooktop can breathe. I don't know if it was necessary, but I felt right about it, so we did it. And then again, there's just tons of storage. We had plates and bowls and measuring cups and utensils and spices, and I mean, there's just so much extra storage in this van, it's ridiculous. Some of these drawers, like some of the 2 drawers that I showed you at the start, are built specifically to fit cans, so you can just set cans in there and not have to worry about them not going to roll around. This is our pull-out garbage. It's nice sized garbage for living in a van or camping in a van. And these all lock in. These are all hard pull and soft close drawers too. Every single drawer in here is like that. So then we'll come to this side of the kitchen. These 2 drawers are wide and deep. This is where we had utensils, you know, silverware, some storage stuff, whatnot. And then down here is a duplicate of the same drawer. Toiletries, we had vitamins, all sorts of stuff in there. Down here is the Nature's Head composting toilet. It just slides out. Do your thing. Slide it back. It's easy to get in and out. It's easy to take out to clean. The reason why we left this open is because we knew not everyone might want this option. And so this is also used as like a gear or bin, or if you've got bags with towels or groceries or whatever, it's an awesome spot to slide stuff in and just leave. And the toilet is just a quick connect, so it's easy to take in and out. And then that's the same deal with this side here. There's a really deep opening back here, and then there's actually another shelf that's deep in there that you can put paper towel or whatever up on that side. And then we'll stay down here. This is, try and get out of the way. This is a super deep double tiered shelf. We had a blender in there, we had a juicer in there, a full Vitamix fits. You can actually set that up on top if you take it out and then slide the whole thing in. So this drawer or this cabinet or whatever you call it rocks. And again, all these are on soft close and open hinges, and they all lock when you push them in. This is another deep spot. We had some wipes, we had some towels, dish rags, whatever, and it goes quite a ways back. And then you've got your freshwater tank, your gray water tank. I think I said this, it's a 40-gallon freshwater tank and a 20-gallon gray water tank. And the gray water tank is up in the driver's seat. It's got this little button too. You just push it and it automatically drains. You don't have to crawl under the van. It's on an electric ball valve, which is super helpful. This is your water pump. So you turn that on and that lets you pump water in and out. We've got the hook to hang a towel. That's your water pump switch, so you turn it on and off right there. And then the faucet, this is just your water that comes directly from your freshwater tank, and you can spray it. But the coolest thing with this, and it's so helpful when you're in the van because you need to conserve water, pushing this button up cuts your water. So as you're doing dishes and stuff, you can spray your water, stop it, do something else, so your water's not running and you're not constantly having to turn things on and off. Little things that we've learned by living in the vans for a couple years. Huge help. This is your freshwater tank. Your freshwater faucet. It goes through a 3-stage filtration process to get you fresh water. And then again, we've got more outlets, more USBs. There's USBs and outlets all over the place in this van. And then up top, we've got a cool little storage thing. Trying to pick cool grains just to keep kind of an outdoorsy, mountainy vibe going on in here. And then a nice backsplash. This is actually real stone, the backsplash here. I'm stoked on how that turned out. And I totally forgot, but the coolest thing about this whole kitchen, on both sides, these are all custom-made black walnut countertops. We wrapped the backsplash all the way around to kind of separate the kitchen from the sleeping area. And I'm super proud of these. These things are awesome. We got like a cool waterfall effect going around the fridge. And we'll keep on rolling back. This is a Everchill 12-volt fridge and freezer combo. And it's a huge fridge, especially to be a 12 volt. So this thing is bomb. You're gonna love that. Fit a ton of food in there. And then down here is just another deep drawer. This was actually one of our pantries when we were living in here full time. So that's super helpful. This is nice. You just throw your phone or a hat or whatever on here while you're sleeping. Let's go into uppers. This was our pantry. And you can fit a ton of food in here, dry goods, whatever. These are all on soft close hinges. They all lock when you close them, and they're on gas struts. So they open and close and lock very nicely. That's that one. I'll back you up a little bit and come back to this one. This is just a generic, some of our food fell over, but just whatever extra storage, books, blankets. We had a bunch of our son's homeschool stuff in here while we were living in here. And then these two was kind of like a him and her clothes. There's also USBs, dual USBs in both of these. So if you've got watches to charge, if you've got phones you want to charge, or any sort of electronic, you can charge it in here to leave the wires in the closet so they're not hanging all over your van, which is, again, something you learn when you live in a van for a while. And then let's talk about the bed. So it's a 6-inch mattress. It's super cozy. It's cut specifically for this van. And again, they're both flare out, so I'm 6'1", I can sleep comfortably. My wife is, I think, about 5'8", 5'6", something like that. But we fit comfortably down here. My son fits comfortably down here. You see in the photos, this is like a multi-use area. It can be 2 bikes, it can be 1 bike and long gear, so you can pass through this whole thing. It can be a bed for a buddy, it can be a bed for your son, and there's tons and tons of extra gear storage on that side of that whole area down there. We can walk back there in a little bit. And then there's USB lights, USB outlets. That garage area is awesome. There's 2 dimmable reading lights also with USB plugs in them. There's one here, one in the back. Hat hooks on the back, because you always need a hat because you don't get to shower if you're living in the van. So this is our garage. And again, just super stoked on how we designed and how we built all this. This whole thing, obviously you can see if you've got like ski bags or some snowboard bags and you're gonna throw them in here, you can go all the way basically from the front of the back of the van, and then all these shelves, you've just got tons of storage for helmets and pants and gear and tools and cleaning supplies and whatever you need to put for your gear or adventures. Or it works awesome as an extra closet if you've got extra clothes you need to store, or jackets or whatever. There's just, I can't say it enough, there's tons of space in this van. And then back here we kind of did this cool wire rack. We've just got, we'd have our helmets and some bike shoes and stuff in there. 3 tiers for that. I love this hickory board that we chose for this. I just think it looks cool. It's the only hickory that's in the whole van. And then your water tank is mounted underneath here. Again, it's a 40-gallon tank. And then your garage, you've got another household outlet, and that is a bigger voltage outlet, so you can plug in a, air compressor or whatever you would need to back there. This is one of the mattresses for if you're going to convert this area to a bed, and that one is specifically cut out to fit over these bike mounts, so you'll want to keep that. But we had toolboxes, we had camp chairs, we had camp rug. It's a huge space, you can fit a ton in there. We threw a guitar up here so you can kind of see what that looks like. It's just a Taylor Mini, so it's not a huge guitar, but kept one of our guitars with us. 2 yoga mats. We had a hook for our axe, and then we always have these little Milwaukee magnetic lights. There's another hook right here to hang any sort of a keys or any extra thing that you want to hang throughout that. And then let me show you these bug walls. So the front and the back of the van both come with custom made bug nets, which you might think is weird, but trust me, it helps a ton. And to be able to open up the van doors on a nice day like today and keep the air flowing through, it just makes everything so much nicer. They're magnetic, so you can just pop them open and they go right back together. And then all of the windows in the van, literally every single window will come with custom-made StellaTech window covers. We went with the super nice ones because we went with the super nice everything on this van, so we just kind of went for it. They are insulated, they are reflective, and these ones latch up here, so if you want a little bit of light but don't want to mess around with taking window covers off, you can do that. And as you can hear, it just sort of magnets right back in, and every window in the van has these custom StellaTech window covers in. The entire van is insulated with, actually I'll keep those open. The entire van's insulated with 3M Thinsulate insulation, a double layer of it. So it keeps heat, it keeps cold. The floor is a heavy-duty non-scratch laminate floor. The ceiling is one of my favorite parts of the van. We tried to do something different, so we went with kind of a crazy pattern of poplar wood. All the varnishes, everything in it, it's all friendly varnishes. There's nothing harmful as far as what we use to stain and finish anything in the van. We tried to be conscious of that. I talked earlier about the gray water tank, and the gray water tank is empty right now, so you're not going to see any water come out. But there is this button. You have to kind of squeeze in here to see it. I'll just turn it on and let you check it out. That guy right there, turning him on and off is what opens and closes the electric ball valve underneath the van, and your gray water will just start spitting out. Super cool feature in the van. So there's 2 Rhino racks up on the roof rack, and you can use those for a bunch of different things. We had fishing poles, we had shovels, we had an axe up there at one point. You can move them around too, so you can adjust however you want. And then there's 200-watt panels, 3 of them, up on the roof rack. And the way we designed the roof rack is a little bit different than what most people would do. We put the solar panels underneath. We felt like it might protect them a little bit more, and also it kind of keeps it a little more stealth looking, which we thought was cool. But then all of the crossbars up on top, if you know you're going to a place where you can just plug in, you can put snowboard racks, you can put gear racks, you can put whatever you want up on those cross members. So we wanted to leave that option open. It's kind of the best of both worlds. And then again, the RTX 2000 air conditioner up there is just a solid thing to have. A couple cool things about the cab area that I wanted to show you guys. This little table that we decided to put in, we put it in after the fact, and we've used it so much. I'm surprised we don't see it in more vans, but this thing rocks. You can put whatever you want on it, and actually you can spin this chair around, spin this chair around. And I worked here quite a bit. Just put the laptop on it, kick your feet up. If it was rainy outside and you didn't want to be outside. This thing is awesome, and it locks in place, so it doesn't wiggle around, it doesn't move, it doesn't make any noise. Nothing in the van really makes any noise. You can't see it on the film, but there is another household outlet that's on this passenger seat right down here. So as you're driving, you can plug a computer in, get some work done. USB outlets, 12-volt outlets. The whole system is, I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna try it. So you've got 3D backup camera, you've got obviously high definition backup camera. There's sensors everywhere around this van, so it'll tell you if you're about to smack into something. And then Apple Play, it's Bluetooth wireless, there's USB-C ports up here, but it's cozy. This table helps, you can plug everything in. All right. I think that's pretty much it. There's a lot going into this. I feel like I covered just about everything. I probably missed a couple of things just because there's a lot that goes into the van. But I hope you guys like it. We've put our heart and soul into building this thing, and we've absolutely loved it, but it's time for us to let it go. And I hope that you guys get to enjoy it and take it on all your adventures and go all over the country, all over the world, and experience van life. It's definitely the van for it. So let me know if you have questions, and looking forward to chatting with you.